Greetings. I'm Devra Betts. I'm a wellness architect, the author of Wake the Health Up, and I host a podcast by the same name, Wake the Health Up. And I'm the owner of R&D Nutrition for Life. I do all these with one God-inspired purpose, to help Christian business owners create healthier habits so they can live out their purpose in happiness and health. The most valuable asset that you and I have is our health. I didn't understand that until I almost lost my health, and I was forced to wake up and think differently about my food and lifestyle choices. I was convicted by the way I intentionally and unintentionally abused, misused, neglected, and misunderstood my body and how my habits, some of which I thought were healthy, how they had a negative impact on my health. I was approaching 300 pounds, I had a seizure disorder, a compromised immune system, my knees were giving out, I had a foggy brain, and I battled depression. In my depressed physical and mental state, I lost my confidence and my voice, figuratively and literally. In 2008, I had my throat sliced open to repair a C5 through 7 vertebrae. Then 2 weeks later, I had a screw loose, literally, in that device. So the hardware in my neck had separated, requiring a second operation just 2 weeks later. Now, there are tons of fascinating details surrounding these two surgeries, but the story I want to tell you is what happened as a result of that second surgery. The first thing that happened is I couldn't swallow liquids. So I attempted to get my 8 glasses of water a day via ice chips. Do you know how hard it is to get that much water via ice chips? It seemed like my tongue stayed frozen. Secondly, my vocal cords were damaged in the second surgery, and I lost my voice. To try and be heard, the sound of my voice when I did try to speak was quite comical. The sound I made just saying hello sounded like a squeaky parrot trying to whisper. According to the doctor, there was no identifiable reason for the damage to my ability to swallow liquids or to use my voice, other than that it might be nerve damage. I began to doubt if I would ever speak again. I was unable to lead classes, do workshops, attend Toastmasters, or speak so that you could hear me more than 2 feet away. My inability to speak beyond a breathy whisper was hard enough, but I was unable to sing at all, and I find so much joy in singing. I think that was the hardest part. There was no sound at all when attempting to sing. 4 months after the surgery, I was at church, and as the congregation sang, I remembered the extreme sadness, the emotion that I felt that I would never be able to sing again or speak in a way that didn't incite laughter. And that emotion swept through me. And in that moment, I found myself accepting my situation. And as I did so, I offered up this prayer. God, I accept my voice may never be restored. But if it does, if it is restored, I promise to use my voice. I didn't even really know what that meant at the time. But, glory to God, within 2 weeks, right before Thanksgiving, my voice was restored. And in joyful Thanksgiving, I began to speak more and to embrace and use my gifts, and I noticed the positive changes in my life. And then, one day, while I was preparing to teach a class about spiritual gifts and using them in the world, I was mentally rehearsing my talk. And as I stood there looking in the mirror and blow-drying my hair, the key points were drifting through my mind. God loves you just as you are. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God gifted you for purpose. You have a unique personality, experiences, gifts, and abilities meant to be shared with the world. And then I heard this loud, audible voice say, "Hypocrite." I immediately realized that God was calling me out, and I knew exactly what God meant. You see, I'd been teaching these classes years, and I believed the information I was preparing to share with the participants in the workshop. I believed it with all my heart. But what I realized in that very moment was that I believed it for them, and yet somehow I did not fully embrace that it was true for me as well. In that moment, God shone a light on what I had kept hidden. I stayed silent so I wouldn't rock the boat, so people wouldn't get mad at me or judge me. And I had become comfortable with helping others shine so that I could stay in the background. God made it clear in that moment that I had become comfortable standing in the background. I shrank back so others could shine. Although I had pledged to use my voice, I limited myself and the gifts God gave me every time I allowed negative old stories to play in my head. Stories like, who do you think you are? Who wants to listen to you? Or what makes you think you have anything important to say? And here's the big one. Other voices are more important than mine. Have you or do you ever have any of those thoughts? Or is it just me? I've heard it called imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs. Whatever you call it, the truth is, those stories only have the power we give them, and they aren't true. I knew I had to be intentional about the words I allowed to enter my head, and I began to pay attention to those words that I used on myself, because words have power. I had to remember that I am gifted for purpose. I do bring value to the world. It's time for that small voice to be silenced forever. How about yours? Are you stuck? Maybe you can freely tell your story. But have you examined the story that you're telling? Is it one of redemption, of power? Are you stuck in the story that you're telling? But believe me, you do have a story to tell. You know you do. And if you aren't telling it, what's holding you back? Are you stuck in your story? Do any of these thoughts cross your mind? I don't have a story to tell. No one will want to hear my story. I don't have anything important to say. I can't. I'm too old. I'm too weak. The story we tell ourselves is often rooted in how we see ourselves, and how we see ourselves is rooted in how we process what others have said to us and what we've said to ourselves over the years. Your brain can't tell the difference between real and imagined, like a movie. Who cries at a sad movie, or a victorious ending, or who crouches at a scary movie? Your heart races. It feels so real. Because to your brain, it is. Whether you realize it or not, these stories come up and impact your day-to-day life during moments of change or worry or fear. Continuing to give in to your negative stories makes them your reality. Luckily, you can take control of your story by training your mind to notice and to replace these negative stories with positive thoughts. And if you're going to tell yourself a story, make sure you tell yourself a good one that reminds you of who God created you to be. You were designed for purpose. Your voice, your message, your story matters. You are amazing. You have the power in your thoughts and in your voice to change your life, to embrace who God created you to be. Do you want to change your life? Then change how you see your life, how you talk to yourself, and decide to change. You can start today. Speak truth. You were wonderfully and beautifully made, and you do have greatness within you. You're powerful. You do have a story to tell. Your story is found in the lessons you have learned in every joy and every sorrow that has touched your life. Be you, because you are worthy. Your imperfections make you, you. You are what the world needs. The world can learn from you. Oh yes, things will go wrong, and you will make mistakes, and you will create new stories, find new wisdom, and develop knowledge. I'm grateful for that moment in time that caused me to truly examine my self-worth. Over years, that over the years that followed that mirror moment, God took me on a journey that woke me up to the role that my health played in my ability or my inability to embrace who God had created me to be and what He created me to do with confidence. You see, the body that I live in was in emotional and physical crisis. I realized that I didn't want poor health to silence my newfound voice. We must take care of the body we live in so that we can live out our purpose with joy and happiness and health. I'm so grateful that my health has been restored, and I'm on a mission to teach Christian leaders how to create lifestyle habits that optimize health to maximize success so that you can be the healthiest you. So you can optimize your health and maximize your performance and live out those dreams and passions. Because the healthiest you not only benefits you, it benefits the world when you share the gift only you can share. So don't let poor health rob you and the world of your unique gifts. Just as it's imperative to know your values and your goals and your vision for your personal life and in your business and to make a plan, it's equally or even more important when it comes to creating optimal health. You can be the greatest steward of your money and your time and your resources, but if you aren't a good steward of your one body, then money, time, and resources will be the least of your concerns. Chronic stress, lack of sleep, a sedentary lifestyle, the standard American diet, and the many environmental chemicals and toxins contribute to inflammation in the body. And chronic inflammation is at the root of most chronic disease. And most, if not all, chronic disease can be traced back to diet and lifestyle. On top of the escalating chronic disease in our country, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and those with a compromised immune system are in greatest danger. So now more than ever, it's vital to wake up and become good stewards of the one body that you have. I work with clients to begin examining how they got where they are and what they want their health to look like tomorrow, in a year, 5 years, 10 years, or at the end of their life. We look at what symptoms they are experiencing because symptoms are clues that something is not right. Do you struggle with headaches, migraines, depression, weight gain, eczema, reflux, constipation, diarrhea? These are just a few of the ways your body is talking to you. Symptoms are the storytellers in your body. Symptoms ignored lead to illness and disease. What story is your body telling? So I teach my clients how to listen to their body, how to examine unique food and lifestyle behaviors to discover what is impacting their health. The good news is you can change your dietary and lifestyle habits and reduce inflammation in your body and the risk of disease today. I want to leave you with this word of encouragement. Your body is a magnificent work of art, intricately designed to support you in living out your dreams when it's properly cared for with optimal nutrition, sleep, stress response, and movement. So here are 10 simple habits that you can start today that will have a positive impact on your health. Dedicate time for a daily spiritual practice to meditate or pray. Third, laugh every single day. Fourth, hug somebody. That might be a challenge right now, but you can also cuddle a pet. Stay connected to your community. 5, increase your consumption of fruits and vegetables. 6, here's a really good one that's easy to do. Chew your food. 7, get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single day. 8, breathe deeply. 9, love yourself, love your neighbor, and show kindness to all. And lastly, for this time together, is move your body and dance to the music. My prayer for you is that you and your family live life well in happiness and health all the days of your life. If you're ready to make those changes, I'd love to chat. Connect with me over at devrabetts.com. Let's go and make an impact and change the world one story at a time in happiness and health.